Hello, it's with great excitement that I welcome you to a beautiful edition of the program Tango with ST. And I'm your queen of talk, Stella Eneyan. On this program, you'll be having wonderful times. Every 30 minutes, I come your way. This program brings to you exciting interviews with different people from different walks of life, captains of industries who have had experiences in hospitality, events, and every aspect of life. Before we go on, I'd like us to go on this short break. I'll be right back, then I'll tell you who our guest on this edition is. Have you got any plans to visit Las Vegas soon? While you're at it, you may want to make plans to visit places such as Caesars Palace, JW Marriott, the Cosmopolitan, the Area Hotel, the Venetian, Four Seasons Hotel, Mandarin Oriental, the Bellagio, the Palazzo, and of course, the Wynn and Encore. All of these places you will find in Las Vegas for your wonderful hospitality experience while you're on vacation. Welcome back. Today on this program, this edition of Tango with ST, we have a very interesting interview with Nigeria's old, would I say old school? No, not just old school, but old school who is still present in the new school, and the person of Orits Wiliki. We had this interview with him and we asked him how it has been after just celebrating 30 years in the industry. He talked about a whole lot of things. Take this interview and we'll be right back. This is Orits Wiliki.
My name is Orits Wiliki. I'm a composer, author, songwriter, performer of music, music producer, TV content provider. I've been in the business over 30 years. I just celebrated my 30 years on stage, which was in, well, wow. If you were there, you're lucky. So if you weren't there, you missed out. You know, we've been in this industry trying to see how we can foster a good structure that will actually sustain the industry. If you ask me if I'm a happy man, I would say I'm half happy because we're seeing the show all over the place, but not the business yet. Until we fix our structures right, for example, your copyright system working very well, then you begin to shout Yehoro, because that's the only thing that can attract the international companies, you know, coming to Nigeria. They were here before, and they left because they realized that piracy was almost eating up them and the company. So they had to scamper for, you know, for a better ground. So until we get these things all working, does it occur to you, you go to the market to buy a Sony blank CD audio for say about 150 naira, blank, nothing on it. But I tell you, you can go to Alaba and you buy the same blank with Orits Wiliki inside of it for 30 naira. How much does that come up to? The same CD you buy 30 naira in Alaba is what you're going to pay 15 euro if you're buying me anywhere in Europe. All right, so for an investor who is coming out, how much does 30 naira come up to? So we'll never see them until we get our stuffs, you know, our structures right. And these are the problems that we're facing. So what you see actually is just the shine. Yeah, we want to hear that in a country of 160 million, you do not even have a database to say, yes, this CD sold so and so amount of copies. So what you are enjoying so far is just the endorsement from various telecoms and the corporate bodies. That's what is sustaining the industry. If you take that off, no artist can tell you he's sold so and so number of copies, which is very wrong. You should be able to have a data to say, okay, this album had so S amount of millions, in a country of 160 million. So it's a shame that we do not still get this appearance right. And that's my sad part of the industry.
If you're just joining, it's still Tango with ST, and it has been with Orits Wiliki, now known as Pupa Orits Wiliki. While he was speaking, he talked about events, and I had this to ask him. For example, you're attending events in Nigeria, or any event where that has been hyped so much, and a musical event, what do you look forward to? And he had this to say, taking it back to Pupa Orits Wiliki.
Events in Nigeria could be very, very difficult to put together right now, largely because this is an aspect that is expected to deal with the private sector. And now the corporate bodies have their own policy for sponsoring or not sponsoring an event. But I tell you, the past few years has been very, very hectic. You have so brilliant ideas, and you don't have sponsors that will nurture you to something you have in your head. And this is largely so because you don't know what the sponsors, the corporate bodies want. I mean, yours is expected to come up with the ideas, good ideas, and then they bring the money. But they go beyond that. They probably will have to, doctor the idea that you have. And by the time they say, no, we don't do this, we don't do that, the steam and the stuff that you had in your head is taken off, and it's becoming so watery. So sometimes you are not even very happy that, they said the piper dictates the tune. So you're not even happy at what might eventually come up with their, do this, don't do that, don't do that, don't do this. So for me, I should think material should be left to the original concept that the person had, and develop that concept to what he has in his head. They don't even sponsor shows these days. I can tell you my side experience while I celebrated my 30 years on stage some few weeks back. Sponsors will hang you up in the air. You're doing one meeting, 2 meetings, 3 meetings, and your time is burning out. And at the end of the day, they tell you, sorry, we couldn't take that. So it's very sad. It's a hard environment. You can't say that in France or Francophone countries. You have an idea, and they come all out to sponsor, and they do that, and they do it really nicely. And that's why they're always better than us in terms of packaging and an event. So down here, it's still a sad story, except a drastic thing is done so that the corporate bodies, look at when Golden Tones, Benson and Hedges was all over the place. They brought standard. You see, I'm a benefactor of that. I can tell you that standard they brought is still part of what we are enjoying today. So you could imagine if Golden Tones was still here with us now, I would have turned golden with our events. They brought standard, discipline, and everything there, professionalism into the stuff. So how many other companies have been able to do that? The answer is none.
You are watching Tango with ST.
If I'm going for an event which is going to showcase music, I expect, number one, that it should be played live, because that's number one. So if you're going to watch Orits Wiliki, you have my CD already, you have my videos at home, you've been watching and seeing and listening to that. You're coming to the event to see how I want to entice you, how I want to, be in your face, either with my girls, with my drummer, so there's so much people to look out for, not just Orits Wiliki. You might be surprised you come to the stage, you're not looking at Orits, you're looking at my 3 dancers, doing some sequence that you feel, is captivating, and you forgot about Orits. That's the beauty of live shows. And so that's exactly why you come to the event. I hate to come to an event where I'll be hearing DJ track 1, DJ track 2, So for me, that kills the industry. It kills the industry. I look out for that, number one. Then I look out for the technical qualities of the sound. I'm a very, very hard critic. I want to ensure that your stage was well lit. I want to hear that the sound system, the PA are working in its perfect conditions, and then you have the right engineers that will dish out this sound. Above all, the good band that will play. So when you have all these things put in the right perspective, you made my day. I'll be looking out for a beautiful show. These days of red carpets, you see all sorts, so those don't really move me, but the sound, the music.
Still Tango with ST. Before we move on with the interview, I'd like us to move over to our Game Changers segment, where we present to you people and industries that started great things and are still doing well. Today, we have this great organization. On our Game Changers segment today, we present Marriott Hotels and Resorts. The Marriott Hotels and Resorts was founded in 1957 by J. William Marriott. As of 2013, it already had over 505 hotels located globally. The Marriott Hotels and Resorts is Marriott International's flagship brand of full-service hotels and resorts. The company is based in Washington, D.C., and is repeatedly included on the Forbes Best Companies to Work For list. In 2009, it was voted the 4th best company to work for by the UK Times. The Marriott chain began with 2 motels in the 1950s. The first one, which was opened as a Quality Inn Airport Motel near Washington, D.C. Another motel nearby, the Twin Bridges, a few years later. With the opening of the second motel, Marriott was born as a brand name. The Twin Bridges Motel is still operating, but today it's operating as a full-service hotel. The Twin Bridges property was demolished in 1990, but the Key Bridge property still operates. And that's all for today on our Game Changers segment. Welcome back. It's still Tango with ST, and we continue with Pupa Orits Wiliki. I asked him, what's your take on the hospitality industry in Nigeria? And he had this very interesting thing to say.
I think it's coming up slowly. What they don't have is the monitoring. They do not have effective monitoring. So there are a lot of hotels that are doing all sorts of garbage. Who do you report to? You report to the personnel, or you see suggestion boards in almost all the hotels. Who does those message go to? It goes to the same people that are in the same hotel. So, but if a monitoring system, is made, the culture and tourism, body is made in such a way that you visit a hotel all of a sudden, check their rooms, check their kitchen, check what they are cooking. Sometimes what they even cook. Sometimes if you don't watch it, it's not something that is supposed to be edible. Probably have stayed in the freezer for over 2-3 weeks, and then they still cook it for people to eat, expensively too. So for me, if I'm getting to a hotel, the first thing I look out for is spontaneous service. 2 is their toilet. If their toilet is kept clean, no matter how beautiful or no matter how not too tuish hotel, if the toilet is all fanciful, the toilet should be a place I can sit and read newspaper. I can do a lot of stuff in the toilet. So if the toilet is not in that standard, give me another room. If I check 2 rooms, they're the same. Sorry, I'm not convinced. I move, I have a choice. I have my money, so I can go to the next one. So if you don't have a spontaneous service, can you imagine when you make an order for food and you say, how many minutes does this take? You say 25 minutes, sir. 25 minutes, okay, my stopwatch start working. 25 minutes I call you, you're not there. 30 minutes you're not there. Sorry, you take the food back because I lost my appetite. So you can imagine sometimes you order for dinner in a hotel. You probably have traveled a far distance and you say, oh, you are famished. Please, can I have dinner in the room? They say, oh, sure. How many minutes? 30 minutes. You stay 30 minutes, you're already dozing. You're sleeping off before you start hearing knock. I won't eat that food. You have to take it back because 30 minutes is 30 minutes. So these are things I really look out for in a hotel. And then the bed. You go to a bed, a touche hotel like this, you sleep on their bed is squeaking. You turn, you're squeaking. So why should I pay all that money when my own bed at home doesn't squeak? Then I'll pay expensively to a hotel and lay in a bed that is squeaking. Those things put me off a lot. So I think these things I'm saying are going on in several hotels, but who is monitoring?
You are watching Tango with ST.
Before I left Orits Wiliki, Pupa Orits Wiliki, I couldn't help but ask him this final question. How come he's still looking so good after all these years? And he still had this to say.
The secret is simple. First is the grace of God. Least any man should boast. It's not by power, not by might. So the grace of God. And secondly, the positive vibration inside of me. I hate to be angry for 5 minutes. Okay? For 5 minutes. So I have joy all over me. So that joy inside of me radiates. So there's no reason why I should be unhappy. Why, if you want to kill me, make me unhappy. So happiness glow from within. It's not something that that you can really say yes, you go to market to buy. Happiness comes from you. It's good for you to be humorous. So when you are a lively person and then you play good music, you are not likely to grow old because the age will be going far from you. So sometimes I do things, they say, Papa, old school. I said, me, old school. Then you don't know what you're talking about. So it's the grace of God. And then a little bit of exercise here and there. I like cycling. I do a lot of cycling. I do swimming, and I do workout too. So those things put together help in many ways in keeping you alive and young. Boy, you see this hair, so man, I will only party and go and So when you devote a whole day not going anywhere, just taking care of your hair, it takes from 6 a.m. till about 6 or 7 in the evening. Yeah, I don't go out when I'm treating my hair because the salon comes to the house, and this has been on for 14 years. So when the day I'm doing my hair, it's a whole day. I don't go anywhere. I'm at home from morning. First, you have to wash. Some gray hair beginning to come out too. You have to dye. Okay. Then you have to wash up again, dry, and then you have to twist. So when you twist so that they can go in this fashion of growth. So, so it takes a lot of time. So the last time I measured, it was 1 meter 1.3 meters, So it's just growing. I just broke my comb, threw it away, and that's what you got.
It's still Tango with ST, and I'm your queen of talk, Stella. I'd like us to go on a very short break. I'll be right back.
There's nothing nicer than waking from a great night's sleep. From the warm burrow of a luxury king-size Hypnos bed, every inch of you floating on over 1,000 pocket springs, snuggled under a toasty duvet. And crisp white sheets. Your head buried deep in a soft, plump pillow. Or choose a firmer one, if you prefer. What could be nicer than that? you can always rely on a Premier Inn for a great night's sleep, wherever you are.
Welcome back. It's still Tango with ST, and we just have a few more minutes with Pupa Orits Wiliki. Before we left him, I asked him to give his very last words, and he had this to say. Take it.
The last word for my viewer will be that stay out of trouble, number one. Pupa Orits Wiliki, you know, is out with a brand new thing. This one we call it Pupa Orits Reloaded. The title is not just for fun. When you go and get my new job, you know why I said I'm reloaded, because none of the tracks you will not fall in love with. So this took a lot of time to put together, and for me it's like a comeback because people, I'm tired of people saying they don't have anything to listen to on radio anymore, and it's sad. Our youngsters, our children, they are doing their own beat, no problem with that. The sky is big enough for all birds to fly. I've never seen birds flying and having accidents, collision on air, because the sky is big enough. So is the industry. So why the youth or the children are doing what they are doing, you must create a balance. That's what I keep telling the media. It is what the media puts out that influence everybody. So the media must find a balance between playing the old music, playing the matured music, as well as the yala wo wo that they're playing. So you must have a balance. When you overplay one over and above the other, then you're not doing justice to the people who want to listen to good music. So I believe that music comes in circle. What you're hearing is a trend, and before you know it, you'll find another kind of new music coming out. But I give kudos to people like Davido. Davido has been able to, for me, he warmed my heart because he's created a new sound that is unique with him. And so everybody is copying Davido, So it's not easy to be copied when in a huge industry like this. So he's the only one that has warmed my heart with his funny kind of music that he has, and you listen to it, it's high life, it's cultural music, so he's been able to blend it with the hip hop culture, and everybody is crazy about it. I love my brother too, Flavor has been able to bring high life back, in the upstream. So people are dancing high life now. People like P Square, they are all playing high life now, which is good. Way back, you cannot define what kind of music we play in Nigeria. Now you can define it with the contribution of the youth.
You are watching Tango with ST.
We've been listening to our one and only Orits Wiliki.
That's right.
I call him Uncle O. Because if he gives me enough, it's sure we'll stay.
I wouldn't do that.
It's been nice having you
Thank you, Stella.
on this show.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
Words are not always enough to
Yeah.
express how excited
Really?
I am when I meet people of your time.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like there is hope.
Yes, there is hope.
For greater things and all of that.
You're
We
right.
feel that our homes were growing up with good music,
That's right.
good sounds, and so much excitement. Thank you for being on this show.
Thank you very
Before
much.
we go,
Yeah.
when you listen to any of your songs,
Yeah.
what's the first thing that comes to you the most?
Well,
Let's take any of your songs and let's see.
like which one? Like Mbala Mumbi,
Yeah.
or like Ten Commandments?
No, let's do
Mbala Mumbi. Okay, it goes like this. Play me that music of Africa that never grow old. This is the song of African, this is the song of the future. Mbala Mumbi. This is the song of African, this is the song of the future. Oh, some idiot boy want come roll with that, but no boy feel do it. You can't do it sitting down.
Oh, it's been nice. I wish we could just go on. And
Yes,
on and
yes.
on. I hope to see you again.
I've had fun here,
Soon,
definitely,
soon.
definitely.
And when you be celebrating the next 30 years
Yes,
again,
that'll be lovely. That'll be
60
60,
and all that.
50 years.
Yeah. So it's been Mumba.
You are watching Tango with ST.
Now, I know you've been having a wonderful time in the past 30 minutes like I have been having with Pupa Orits Wiliki. Until I come your way again next time, please do send me an email on TangowithST@gmail.com or send me a tweet, TangowithST, and you know I'll respond because I am your queen of talk. I'll give you a feedback on whatever you have asked, and stay focused. Don't get into trouble because I wouldn't. Stay blessed.